years since I left the CIA is that CIA was created by Wall Street, and Wall Street works for the Rothschilds, the Vatican, and the Queen of England, and the City of London.
Are there any rules that prevent you from writing about your work in the CIA?
Yes, I signed a lifetime secrecy oath.
How does that work?
With all of the books that you've written, I think.
Well, it's a matter of honor. The secrecy oath covers the secret work that you did. I've never written about the secret work that I did, other than to say I managed a false flag for CIA, because that was a useful public tidbit.
If you could just tell us what false flag operations are.
A false flag operation is nothing more or less than not what it appears to be. So a false flag attack, take Sandy Hook, take the Boston bombing. Both of those were organized by the Department of Homeland Security. We actually have the plan for the Boston bombing from FEMA.
Who's we?
What?
Who's we?
Everybody. I mean, it's published. Okay. FEMA planned the Boston bombing a year in advance to test the idea of locking down an entire city and seeing if they could go door to door without warrants. And they were able to.
FEMA did not plan the Boston Marathon bombing.
Sandy Hook is a more complicated situation. That may include pedophilia and mind control in the entire town. And oh, by the way, a number of those kids showed up alive later to sing at the Super Bowl. So again, with a false flag, the question is, did people really die? Or were the people killed by paramilitary shooters?
Dozens of Americans were murdered or injured in the terrorist attacks on Sandy Hook Elementary and the Boston bombing. There's no evidence to support any claims otherwise.
You live in a dream. Actually, you live in a nightmare.
Certainly feels like it. So in the case that you said you had run false flags, what is the operation that you ran?
I'm not going to tell you a thing about that.
Okay. I thought you said that was the one thing you do report on.
You're dealing with one of the most experienced spies you're ever going to meet. Okay. Next.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, let's take Bin Laden. I knew Bin Laden died in 2001. When the Bin Laden raid occurred, I knew immediately it was a false flag. SEALs died for Obama's re-election theater. And I think Leon Panetta is a piece of shit. He was director of CIA for the Bin Laden raid. Frankly, I'm ready for you to use this on the air. I think Leon Panetta is one of the people that should be taken out and hung, along with Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden and Barack Obama and John Brennan and James Comey. The list is long.
Long list. That's a lot of vitriol and anger to carry around too.
I'm not carrying around vitriol and anger. I'm an objective analyst. I sponsored a book on pedophilia. Right. What's your problem with that?
I have no problem with that.
And this is not a satanic pedophile ring. And I've done an analysis that suggests that it's 80% likely that JFK Jr. is in fact alive today. Okay, he and his wife faked their death because they knew they were going to be killed by the Mossad, because Hillary Clinton is an absolute who would never win an election in New York if John F. Kennedy Jr. were running. Okay?
Many of the ideas you're discussing, I've been seeing a lot on the QAnon board.
QAnon is a great awakening. That's the bottom line. QAnon is getting people to question everything, and that's new. The public can no longer trust the CIA or the FBI. I pray that Sidney Powell becomes a director of the FBI, and I would like to help her torch the place.
Joining me now is the attorney for Michael Flynn, Sidney Powell. Sidney, thank you so much for joining us.
I believe the Department of Justice is withholding a lot of information, as is all of the people who participated in the complete setup of General Michael Flynn. And I'm going to release the Kraken.
Mike, Flynn was framed by the CIA and the FBI in part because he was about to do an audit and a purge.
3-star Lieutenant General Michael Flynn served in the White House as Trump's national security advisor.
This was not an election. This was a revolution.
By the way, Barack Obama is still running the White House.
With Russia.
Prior to